All right, so we're going to get started here, talk a little bit about the parking lot procedure for this coming school year. Yeah, right, woo! This is only going to apply to pickup. Drop-off is not changing. You can still do whatever you did for drop-off last year. Depending on what time you get here, you can pull right up to the sidewalk out in front, drop your kid off. Preferably stop first. We don't want any tuck and roll, but drop them off. Now, in the afternoon, when you pick them up, there is a little bit of a subtle change. The mass chaos we've had the last 2 years is not going to be the case anymore. The students will not be leaving the classroom until you are here to pick them up. In the past, those of you that are new to BCCS, the teachers have walked the kids out and they've been outside waiting for you. That's not the case anymore. It's too much. We have too many students. We're up almost to 280 this year. That's just too many students at one time outside. So we're changing that a little bit this year. Everybody has an ID, or you'll need to get one of these. They are located in the back. If I already have a number for you, I've already printed you one. If you haven't selected a number, come see me at the conclusion of the presentation. I'll write the number down for you, and I'll have it ready for you to pick up on Tuesday morning. It'll look like this, only it's bright yellow. This is what it will look like, bright yellow. Hard to miss. You'll notice it says 1617 on it. That doesn't mean you're going to get a new one every year. That just lets us know when it was given to you. So let's say next year, you lose it over the summer, we'll get you a new one, it'll just say 1718 on it. That's the only reason we put the date on it, so we know when you received it. Please do not make your own one with your number on it. Make sure it's the yellow one with our watermark on it. We don't want people making up cards to pick up your kids. We want to make sure they're using the approved BCCS card. If you lose them or need more, everybody gets 3. If you need more, come talk to me, but you only need 1 per family. Okay? Just 1 per family. So if you have multiple kids, you only need 1. And I'll show you why here in a minute. We are not going to be allowing anybody to pick up kids this year that does not have one of these cards. Okay? It's for your student safety. So if grandma's picking them up, if an uncle's picking them up, if a brother's picking them up, make sure they have the card. If an emergency comes up, call the school, speak to myself or Ms. Boersma or Ms. Ayers, tell them the name of the individual picking up your student, and we will check their driver's license when they pull up, and they'll give us the number, and we'll make sure that the name is matching who's picking them up. Safety. You don't want somebody driving off campus with your child that you don't know is driving off campus with your child. Okay? That's the principal's worst nightmare is a parent walks up, where's my kid? You don't have your kid? No. Not good. Okay, we don't want that. That happened once, and luckily the brother picked up the kid and didn't tell the parents, so the kid was safe with somebody who we didn't know. Okay, we all recognize this. This is the parking lot, thanks to Google Earth. We have an image of what it looks like. Please adhere to the entrance and exit procedure. Enter from the 100th Avenue side of the parking lot and exit on the 84th side of the parking lot. Okay, please don't come in from this direction. Please don't go out from this direction. That is true for both drop-off and pickup. So when you drop off your student, please enter on the 100th Avenue side and then leave on the 84th Street side. Okay? The parking lot will be divided into 3 zones, lane 1, lane 2, and lane 3. They will be color coordinated by cones. And I'll explain to you how that's important here in a minute. So when you arrive, we'll make sure we direct you to the appropriate lane. If you're here early, lane 1 is right in front of the building along the sidewalk. Lane 2 is the middle lane. Lane 3 is the outside lane. You notice the cone for lane 3 is pushed back to the crosswalk. The reason for that is the student driver parking spots are there. The student drivers will be leaving at 3 o'clock when the mid-high bell rings. Our goal is to get the student drivers out of here as soon as possible. Once 3:05 hits, that is when we will start sending the numbers to the classrooms via the app. I'm going to show you how that works here in a minute. We will be moving that cone all the way up to the front where the other cones are located and moving traffic up in lane 3 to try to avoid any excess traffic pulling out onto Burlingame. Okay? So, let's show you how it works. There's my arrow. All right. So, what class you're in, Ms. Timmerman, right, Joel? So, Ms. Timmerman's class, the teachers will log into this website. This is what will be displayed at the front of their classrooms, so that when we start the app, looks like this. This is what it looks like. It'll be on our devices, myself, some iPads, the staff members will have it. It's yellow because that means that I am being assigned to lane 3, which is the yellow cone. I'll show you what that means here in a minute. 6495. Okay. All right, so I put 6495. It'll take a couple seconds for it to pull up there. Okay, there we go. So that tells you, Miss Timmerman's class, that means that Joel's dad is here, or whoever's picking up Joel is here. They arrived at 7:09, and it's yellow, that means they're in lane 3. So that tells Joel that when he goes out the front door, he goes to the crosswalk, goes out to lane 3, which is the closest to Burlingame. Adults will be out there to direct where to go. Okay? That's how it works. Each color will be based on where your lane is. Okay? Is there anyone else that has a first grader in here? You do. What's your number? 5302. Okay, let me change my number here. My color will go blue, lane 1. And that number, say it one more time for me. Okay? So 5302. All right, so that means you're in lane 1. So Ms. Timmerman sees it. She'll be sending your student out, telling him that your parent is here to pick you up. They're in lane 1, which is the closest to the school. So he'll come out to the cone in front of the school, and we'll direct him to your car. Okay? The student will not leave the classroom until they see this pop up. So if you're running late, great. That's not a problem. They will not be outside waiting for you. They'll be in the building. So pull in, we'll get you your number, we'll send it into the classroom, then they'll be sent out once you arrive. I like this because we're not going to have kids out in the element. If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's cold, if it's hot, whatever. Kids will not be out there, they won't be running around, they won't be able to run into the parking lot. All of the issues that gave me gray hair and why I shave my head now is gone because the after-school routine made me lose sleep at night. We fixed those problems. The safety of your child is our utmost concern. That's why we're doing this. This was used at Vanguard Charter Academy up the road, and that's where we went and visited in June and watched them do it. So we want to use it. Okay? In a nutshell, that's how it works. If you want to walk in the building to pick up your kid or meet your kid at the front of the school, we also have a cone there that's pink. So we can send it to the classroom telling them you're meeting them at the front of the school. We really don't want you going to the classrooms to pick up your kids this year unless it's an emergency. We want to preach to the kids to have responsibility to come find you. Okay? That's really what we want to emphasize. We're not telling you not to go to the classrooms, But let the teachers get the kids out, let things calm down before you visit the classrooms. Let the teachers breathe, let them get the kids out, let us get kids out. Then you're more than welcome to go into the classroom after school to see the teachers. Okay? But let's get the kids out of the classrooms before you go in there and start talking to the teachers. Questions? Just like what Connie does and like what you do every day last year, get into a lane. We'll direct you to a lane. We're going to try to keep people off of Burlingame. Somebody will be out there directing you into lanes. Probably me, and as I direct you into a lane, I'll be punching your number and queuing it so that at 3:05, when I send all the numbers to the classrooms, we can get kids out of here. After school care, you can just park anywhere in the lot because it will be predominantly empty. Normally, they're picked up out the back door here between the 4th and 5th grade classroom. You can't see the classrooms, but they're back there. We can show you. But that's normally after school care. If it's outside of the normal rush, so if you're picking your kid up after, say, 3:40, then we really don't need the number system because we can see who it is. It's the main rush between 3:05 and 3:35, 3:40. We want these numbers used so then we can make sure kids are getting into the right car. Okay? Questions? Everybody. All students, K-12. Nope, it's going to depend on what time you get here. So if you're here early and you're in lane 1 every day, then yeah, but it's going to depend on where you are. So they'll have to pay attention when they see their name of what lane it's telling them they're in. Okay?
Where do you want us to put these in our car?
In the visor, on the dashboard, you can even just show it to the person, and once I enter your number into the system and queue it, then you can put it away, it doesn't matter. Once we have it entered in. We'll have adults out there to help. Kindergarten also has their own parapro, so we'll have 2 adults that'll be helping the kindergartners. So eventually we'd like to get it to where they can walk from the classroom to the front of the building, and then the adults will be there to help them. But we're not having kindergartners bolt out to cars with no adults once they leave the building. We'll have adults out there helping them. Early in the year, we'll help them. But eventually we want them to kind of get to the point where they can at least get out to the crosswalk, and then we'll direct them where to go. Ashley, do you have another question? They'll give you their card. Make sure you get a card. Each family gets 3 cards, so make sure they give you one of their 3. If something happens, I'll print you another one of their cards. I just need an email or a phone call from them giving me permission to give it to you, Connie. Okay? Any other questions? It's really simple.
For aftercare, I know that sometimes you guys are in the gym or in the classroom, and I don't know whether they come to the side door or the back door. Sometimes I knock and it takes a while.
We're going to try to get consistent with that this year and have you pick them up from the same spot. That's something that we'll get up with Mr. Vries. The goal is you guys will go to the same spot every time. We're going to work on that. And if that's not happening, knock down my door and yell at me, and it'll happen. Yes, I have a drop-down menu that says Mr. KCTC. We will tell them where to go. Okay. Any other questions? If you don't have a number, come see me. If you want to pick up your number, they're back there in alphabetical order. If you have any other questions, let me know. Thank you.